Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap between men and women. I'm your host, Ramont Williams, and we have a special show for you tonight. As let me see, Kevin Samuels and the Queen Maker. Polygamy is the way. So I'm gonna put up a banner while my guests introduce themselves. So I'm gonna introduce Melissa first. Melissa, tell us your name and where you're from, please.
My name is Melissa, and I'm from California. And I'm gonna go ahead, Dr. B. You're next. Go ahead.
Oh, am I there? Am I there? All right.
Yes.
I'm Doc B. I'm a DJ out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 414.
Hi, and I'm LaShonda Woods, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, with that being said, we're gonna start the show, and I'm gonna turn the show over to you, Melissa, so you can start because this is your baby. Polygamy is the way, and tell us why you feel this way. Why I type in this title.
Actually, I don't honestly, in my opinion, I could never do it because that's just how I was raised. But I'm bringing this topic forward because it's something that Kevin Samuels and both Priscilla agree with, the Queenmaker agree on, and yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that they both have this idea of how we could succeed in our future, or we could be more successful in the relationships by kind of tapping into our higher self and being more mature and learning how to live in these types of relationships. So, and because this is a relationship program, it's like based on trying to make relationships better, but bridging the gap. That was why I had brought this idea forward. And yeah, what do you guys think?
I think basically what he was saying, I don't know her, but what I think, I'm a big Kevin Samuels fan, uh, Corey Holcomb fan, TK Kirkland. So these are all like guys who kind of stand up for men, either like and through comedy and or hard truths, exaggerations, kind of stand up for it. So I understand when they go too far, but I think overall, what Kevin Samuels was getting at is you basically doing it already anyway. You already got, we laugh about the side chick. We laugh about I didn't know the stepbrothers and stepsisters you didn't find out about till later on. Basically, to me, he's saying and or that lifestyle is like, look, let's just keep it 100. Let's just put our cards on the table instead of all these 2, 3 houses and all this sloppiness. And don't go, oh no, you can't go with her, son. That's actually your stepsister. You just didn't know it. Let's just put it on the table and be straight up, like, for lack of a better example, Lou Williams, who was the sixth man in the NBA. I think he's retired now, but he lived with his baby mamas. Like, that's like actually super known. I believe Derrick Rose did that, and the comedian, the guy with the Old Spice commercials, and the dude, like, he lives with his 2 women type deal, and unfortunately, that's the rep that it gets. The most of is guys having multiple women, but it works the other way around too. But just having that conversation and keeping it 100, it seems like a more practical. Does it seem loving? No. Does it seem traditional Western style? No. But I think it's something that should be explored. I think it might be uncomfortable, but I think adults should be able to have that kind of conversation about anything.
Well, let me pose this question to you, if I may, Doc. When it comes to this polygamy thing, and living in a world that I'm pretty sure we've all been instilled some type of morals or values, and Melissa just said it herself. She would never participate based on her upbringing. But when you talk about things like polygamy or being monogamous, monogamy is something that we've been taught and conditioned to believe in. So most people, if you will, participate in monogamous relationships. Would you agree?
Definitely.
Okay, so polygamy would be an alternate choice of lifestyle. Would you agree?
Yes, but let me say this. It's almost like it's almost like this is what you're taught, and when you get older, or even you notice the inconsistencies of the adults. Again, I just got through giving them. Oh, that's your brother. Oh, I didn't even know I had a brother. Oh, the person you've been calling auntie, the person you've been calling auntie is really your mama. She gave you up. So I'm saying that to say two things. Number one, people ain't been practicing what they've been preaching. That's number one for the longest. Number two, so the so-called, white dress, forsake all, rich reporter, poor, all that has been BS. And studies will show from marriage, first marriage and second marriage. First marriage is over 50%. Second marriage is divorce, that is. Second marriage is over, I think, 60 on second marriage divorce. I mean, we laugh about it. I'm on my third wife. I'm on my blah, blah, blah. There's a reason for that. People are combination selfish, and people combination don't keep it 100. Or when they keep it 100, there's a joke by Bill Maher where he goes, when black people say it's all good, it never is. And that's true. So they say okay. No, I get that. Thank you for coming to me with that. Thank you. Like, you think life's gonna be sweet after that?
Well,
sleep with one eye open. Sleep with one eye open, boss.
Well, polygamy, in my opinion, unbiased opinion, is a choice. Is something, whether what we've been taught about monogamy is true or false, incorrect. We know we live in a society that's been tainted, that's morally corrupted, and it really has no value. And I'm talking about all the way up to the White House, to the Vatican. We already know that it's been exposed. But what I'm saying is that when you talk about the way polygamy is expressed and exercised in the world today, it's pretty much like people that choose to engage in orgies, okay? Or however you choose, whatever definition you want to put on it. But what I was trying to convey to my friend here, Melissa, is that I don't have a problem with polygamy within itself. It's just not something that I choose to engage in, which she said the same thing. Now, when we're talking about Kevin Samuels, I've never heard Kevin Samuels say anything in reference to polygamy. I've heard the Queen make a reference to it on numerous occasions, even just recently with some of the videos that Melissa sent me tonight. But the thing about it is, it's a choice. And given that choice, it doesn't matter.
Can I jump in real quick? Or
Yes.
would you rather me let you finish? Okay, let me just jump in on that. I can just because it'll help, because it might help you out. And I'll do it real quick. I do tend to run on, so I'll be careful. He said this. It wasn't polygamy, but it was one of those contextually, you know what he's saying. What he said was, historically, high power, high value men never have one woman. They just don't. They don't do it. They have choices and they move on. Now, he's not calling it polygamy by name, but he's saying maybe that one-on-one monogamous thing, if he chooses to do it, cool. But historically speaking, they never do it. And he said in the animal world, they don't do it either. But high value men, the higher up the scale, they don't settle is the wrong word. I don't want to use that word, but they don't stop at one, like Ruffles or Lay's chips. But go ahead. So he didn't say polygamy, but he does say man, he got that kind of guy can have more than one. It wasn't about money. It was about the power and about what those guys traditionally want. My
So
fault.
he
Go
didn't
ahead, boss.
actually say the word polygamy, but he referenced around it.
Yeah,
Okay.
He
definitely.
calls it. He calls it de facto. He says
Okay. Now here's the thing that we got to keep in mind when people reference things. There's a big distinction between humans and animals. Okay. Secondly, we know in history, most prominent men, when you get given to Africa, they could have as many wives as they could afford. Okay, so now you have people that have this same ideology or subscribe to it that's saying, okay, based on my financial standings, based on my standings in society, based on my education, the house that I live in, the car that I drive, the clothes that I wear, okay, that gives me the option to say, I don't want to be with one woman. It doesn't have to be labeled as polygamy. I'm just going to live my life. And in the streets, we call it being a player.
Okay. I mean, you could call it something else, but that's what's happening. Well, but see that guy, that kind of person, as long as they saying it up front and they talking about it, then you can get down that polygamy line. Otherwise, you just effing off. And I'm like, I know we can cuss on here, but
But
I will refrain from cussing this a lot because y'all don't
but
seem to be
really, when
doing.
you think about it, if any female is down with that, that's low self-esteem.
I've heard that
Because how
before.
you gonna let the man have all the fun by being with this person, being with that person, all in one house, and most likely you're not gonna be allowed to do that. But at the same time, where's the self-respect at?
Wait,
Well,
wait, wait, wait. No, let's not get it twisted though. Priscilla is all about self-respect in women and self-respect. So her version of polygamy is not necessarily called polygamy. It's called polygyny, and that's where the women are in charge of the household and the man is just there,
No,
like,
no,
you know.
no, no. But
that,
who in their right mind
but
want to be in there with other females with your man? Like, who want to do that? That's stupid. That's low self-esteem. Because
Well,
if
he's
I'm
not
if
putting
I'm
her
gonna be with
man.
somebody, I'm gonna be the main and the only piece.
Oh wow. What do you think, Dr. V?
okay. Well, a couple things. See, this is where this. You know what? This I gotta give it to. I gotta give it to. Is it Ramon?
Yeah.
Ramon. Okay. I gotta give it to Ramon on this. Basically, what he's saying is you calling it you. Man, I don't know if I'm out of order when I say this, but it's like Christians. So I know plenty of them that are gay, that love God. They love God, but
Just
it's in
because you're
there.
gay, okay, but just because you're
And
gay,
well,
it doesn't mean that you're not a Christian.
I,
It's
I'm
just
about
saying that you're not following the Christian, you
that's
know,
I'm about to
character.
make my point. I'm about to make my point. So they think it's okay, and they think that God speaks to them in different ways. But I'm telling you, here's what I'm telling you though. What you're describing isn't polygamy. So polygamy, it can go either way. And what you just did, and see, I don't do it personally. You spoke in the absolute. What woman in their right mind? She got low self-esteem. You can't say that for sure. You know, you can't say that for sure. Just like you can't say a man can't love more than one woman at the same time. You can't say that for sure. You can say that that is the case in a lot of cases, or in a lot of people, or you can say a woman comes from a broken home, or she has daddy issues. But that goes from hoeing to all kind of promiscuousness to what you said. But in the real see the real deal when you sit down and really, I mean, I studied it. So you go to real deal polygamy, women really can go. I mean, they got reality shows with it where the woman got the dude at home, she dating another guy, and he's got to be okay with it. It's saying he gets to meet the other dude, and all that other stuff. And yeah, for most of us are not geeing for it, and dudes are definitely hypocrites when it comes to it. With you a hoe. If I do it, I'm a player. You know what I'm saying? Like we continue in that thing, but that is not that. You know what I'm saying? So polygamy is not that. Polygamy is actually telling. What we usually do is we go do it first, and then you find out about it because women are great detectives, madlocks. Y'all some madlocks, Magnum PIs and Murder She Wrote and all that. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all SUV, SVU, whatever the hell it's called. So y'all do. That's how y'all find out about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
now you got to deal. Now you got to deal with this extra baby and all this other stuff. But if you
Yeah.
really do the real polygamy, that's some real deal stuff.
For
But
sure.
we don't do that. That's not what we do. But that's what we're talking about tonight. Now, I hear you, and most women will agree with you when you say, "Man, there's something wrong with them." They're gonna put up with that, and that's what they side. That's their friends and family, and a lot of times it's embarrassing. But I can tell
See, because
you
the thing
for
about it, just like what you said, how men do it, behind women's backs and all that stuff. So really, what this thing right here is upholding those things. When we gonna do it upright, who in their right
well,
mind?
well,
so
you judge it. You judge
let
it.
me
Yeah,
ask
well, just
this.
because it's not for you doesn't mean it's not for every woman. Well, you know what? Let's go back to your way. Everybody else done did the vows and jumped the broom and beautiful. Oh, we're gonna do it. And now what's happening? What's happening with the
Yeah.
divorce?
Yeah.
So the divorce is over 50%, and this is what people do. As soon
Well,
as they feel in
see,
some
a
kind
lot
of
of
way, they out.
times people get married for it's the thing to do. They're not getting married for the real reasons. First you got to find out who
Uh,
your partner is first
uh,
before you jump that broom and all that, because there's a lot of people who jump in the broom without knowing who the person is. And then once they get married, you're married, and that's when the real person come out. Because see, you meet the representative in the beginning. And see, a lot of people having sex with people just right off the bat, and then they think, oh, we in love or whatever. They get married and they really find out what that person really is. And then that's why people are divorcing. But you got to get to know the person first. I'm not saying you're going to fully get to know the person, but I mean, you need to know more than just their
you,
nickname. You need to know their
you,
name and their last name.
you,
And when he
you know,
cheats and has a baby with the other woman, what should happen then?
You
Because
said
that happens
what?
a lot. When he cheats on her and on his wife, and he has a baby with another woman, what happens then? Because
I mean,
it
that's
happens a lot.
individually. That's individually what you're gonna do, because see, there's some women that woman up and take care of that kid and all that kind of stuff, and there's other women is like, you cheated on me. There's no loyalty, so I'm gone. You know, so it's individually who want to be which character you want to play.
Well, if
Well,
the woman was, so you're saying if the woman
by the way,
wants to,
women be messing up too. By the way, and put
Yeah,
18 years,
women
18th
and
birthday,
men.
found out it wasn't his. Yeah, but y'all get to pick. Y'all
Yeah.
get to pick and choose whether we have a baby or not. We don't get to pick that, which is out of order.
No,
By the way,
women and men mess up. But see, the thing about it is like men want to put the women stuff out there and call it all bad, but then when they put the men stuff out there, you the player, oh, you this and that, like it's the thing to do. But what's wrong is wrong, whether it's a woman or a man.
but I'm going specifically to this, and Ramon will tell me if I should stay in my lane, or stay in the lane. So what about the baby aspect? Y'all decide the baby thing. That's when women be like, "It's my body, it's my body." I'd be like, "What about the baby? And what about the father of the baby?" Like we don't have no choice in
Well,
that, and that's
well, if
that's
it was
ruined a lot
me,
of situations.
see,
Right?
it goes back to knowing
You
your
cheesing,
partner.
you
See, these
cheesing.
are the things that you need to talk about before you even get into that relationship. Like, if we do end up, you get pregnant or whatever,
You
what
keeping
are
it?
we doing?
You keeping it? You
You know what
keeping
I'm
it?
saying? See, me, if I ever got pregnant, I would keep my baby, regardless of what's going on.
You
Because
know it's
that
our
little
baby.
person
It's
that
me and
has
your
to be
baby.
born.
It's me and your baby.
Yeah,
It's me and your baby. Wait a minute.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't say you're gonna keep the baby. You gotta say we gotta. I thought we gotta talk about it. Don't we gotta talk about it?
I'm keeping
The
my
daddy.
baby
What about the daddy?
regardless.
See,
If
see.
you don't want if you don't want to be in the if you don't want to be in a life, you don't have to. But I will keep my baby.
okay, hold on.
Child support court. Child support
Let me
court.
No,
stop you.
no.
When
If you wouldn't be a man to take care of yours, that's on you, because that kid is gonna grow up. Then you can talk to the child.
hold on, it's so easy when we're talking about procreating, right? But oftentimes, percentage wise, the woman has or believes she has more rights than the man does. And see, you have to understand, women do not create babies. You're just an incubator. Men are the ones that actually create babies, but society has taken our rights and given it to the mom because you incubate and you carry a baby for 9.5 months. So you're saying you're taking the man out of the equation. He doesn't have a say in whether the baby is born into this world or not. But once the baby comes here and you can't handle the financial responsibility, then now that responsibility comes on a man when he should have had a say at the very beginning to say, well, you know what? I know you don't believe in abortions. I don't believe in them, but we must do what's in the best interest for the child. So when you talk about polygamy, I'm not seeing, or I haven't heard of a lot of polygamous relationships where a lot of children are born from these relationships. These seem to be relationships based on sex.
And the relationship.
Yeah,
or the existing children.
Yeah, you know, so back to.
I mean, so what is the good part about it, though?
Okay, so,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
You out of order. I get a variety of women. I get you and Melissa. Y'all get your
That
own
wouldn't
roles, though.
happen.
Y'all
That
got
wouldn't
your own
happen.
roles.
Because see,
Hold on.
I would go for that. And then on top of it, once I find out that you're cheating, I'm done with you.
Okay,
I'm not cheating. You know about it. You know what's happening.
No. This is what I'm saying. With the polygamy thing, I wouldn't go for it. So the only way you would be able to have me and somebody else is if you was cheating. You see what I'm saying? And I wouldn't go for it.
You wouldn't be one of the women that women up.
People that's in polygamous relationships, because you know, all last year for the past 2 years, it was promoted very big in social media. I have a lot of people that work out in my industry that participate in it openly, right? But here's the thing: when you're in a polygamous relationship or agree to engage in that type of activity, it's all about having an open relationship. It's no longer about cheating, because you're saying, okay, yeah, we live in the same household, but you have the autonomy or the liberty to go out and sleep with whoever you want to. As long as a lot of people saying they put in that fine print, as long as I can get a little bit of it, you got to bring some of that to the house. This is what I'm believing from what I'm hearing. I don't participate in things like that. And just like when I asked Melissa, and she said she wouldn't participate in it, but yet she believes in it. You know, and this is what I was trying to convey to her earlier.
Can I interject really quick? Because that's not exactly what I said. I said I wouldn't be able to do it. Melissa, but it's something we need to get our kids prepared to have to deal with.
Let me finish, please.
Okay, well, quote me correctly, please.
Okay, so
unplug both of them, then plug the router back in. Wait 30 seconds.
Can y'all hear me?
Once the router is back on,
I hear somebody talking about rubbers.
Yeah,
routers.
Okay. What's going on?
That's my Alexa. But anyhow, what I'm saying is,
you got to break the Alexa. All right, good.
When you say you believe in something, then most people that believe in something usually advocate for that. Okay. When the question was posed to me about this topic that we're discussing tonight, that Kevin Samuels alluded to, I don't know, the Queen Maker has spoken on it on several occasions too, but I don't talk about things that I don't actually believe in. You know, I'm talking about, do I admire Kevin Samuels or admired him because he's past tense? He's no longer with us. Of course I did, because he was a very knowledgeable man. What he did is he took what was existing or evolving in today's world, relationship-wise, between men and women, and what he did is he didn't expose it. He allowed them to expose it themselves just on his narrative and how he questioned them, because they told exactly how they felt and what they were doing. And a lot of people tried to blame Kevin Samuels, saying he put women down, but you have to understand something. There's a process to everything that we do in life. All he did was create a process that has been in existence. All he did was tweak it. And when you got people that's jumping on his social line, asking him questions, then I feel in my heart, and I still do to this day, he had a right to give his personal opinion. And that's what he did. When he asked a woman about her weight, how can the majority of women get mad when you have the woman he's asking the questions that's voluntarily answering the questions? So when you talk about things in reference to Kevin Samuels, that's what I admired about him, because he always brought out the truth. Even with these high profile women that they tried to put on his show to ridicule him, emasculate him, he triumphed every time. And I've watched every one of his videos. Not one woman that he has ever encountered has ever intellectually conquered him or beat him in a conversation. Not one time. But a lot of people kind of frowned on him because they said he was putting black women down. I don't think I find that hard to believe, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because if I ask you a question, are you gay? And you say, yeah, I'm gay, but this is the reason I'm gay, how am I wrong? When you just confess to what you're doing and what you're participating in. And that's all Kevin Samuels did. He just asked basic questions. They answered the question, but the majority of people looked at it as being, oh, he's putting black women down. He don't like black women. He's gay. And see, this is something I've learned about women today. When they can't emasculate a man intellectually, what they do is they try to dig into our pride. They try to scrape our pride by saying you're gay. Because any masculine man, and I'm pretty sure you will agree to this, Doc, any masculine man, when he's referred to, called, or even
hint to that innuendo. Yep.
Yeah, anything associated with homosexuality
or feminine. Yep, real talk.
He's going to be offended. So now that Kevin Samuels is gone, let's put this dude here on the show, Charleston White. Charleston, okay, who I believe
we cooking with grease. All right, go ahead.
He's a person that speaks a lot of truth, and then a lot of things he speaks is personal opinions. But just like him, in comparison to Kevin Samuels, even though he speaks truth, it's his deliverance that a lot of people have problems with. Because I agree with a lot of things he say, and I disagree with a lot of things he say, because you don't have to be disrespectful in order to get your point across. That's just me. Okay, so when it comes to polygamy, from what I understand, because I've never engaged in it, never will, and no matter whether it came or was referenced from Kevin Samuels or the Queen Maker, I think the people that choose to embrace this ideology, they have a mutual understanding, again, where it's 2 women, 1 man. Usually that's how I've seen it go. Well, if you're going to go out because you're bisexual and you like other women, you have to bring another woman to the house. Now, what LaShonda was saying, and I agree with too, morally, the way we've been taught, there's things that's associated with that mindset that's not morally sound. And one of those things happen to be self-esteem. Because usually when people have to do things that society has deemed to be immoral, it's because they feel they got to participate or they have to be validated by something because they can't stand on their own merits. And that's just my take on it. Maybe y'all disagree. You got your mic off, LaShonda. You got your mic muted.
It's demonic.
Damn. Okay. All right. Hey, mute your mic and get my mess with you. Go ahead. Damn. Okay. She about hers.
Can I interject this really quick about the Queen Maker when she discusses this polygyny? She says that you guys have to think about it not in how you were raised and how you were and how society wants us to believe that the right way should be, because the right way is obviously not working. We see this already in real life.
What
There's
do
no perfect couple.
What do you
There's
mean
no
it's
perfect
not
situation.
working?
Okay, well, think about this though. Think
Hold
about
on,
this.
let me
Wait a minute,
We
Divorce.
say
wait a minute,
we
wait a
say
minute.
the right way.
Oh my God.
LaShonda, hold on. What do you mean it's not working? By whose standards?
By society standards that we
The,
No.
the vows they took, to stay together. They cheating left and right. It's all kind of side babies, side chicks, side dudes, all
Okay.
kind of diseases
But
coming
dog,
back,
but
and
dog,
plenty of divorces.
let
That's
me
what.
finish though. The way
okay,
that
hold on.
the
Despite the infidelity that has been around from the beginning of time, because we know Eve cheated with the devil. So infidelity has always existed and always will. But when you're talking about
Wow.
things changing and going to polygamy, which society has set and said that it's morally incorrect, that will never be the majority ideology. That will not be what the majority of people embrace. And this is what I'm trying to get her to understand.
oh
If,
man.
if society is wrong by people committing infidelity, it doesn't mean that people are going to start having sex with multiple people.
I don't know what.
Well, they already are. They already are.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
LaShawn ain't gonna
so
do it. They
I
already are.
okay, so
But
I
it's not.
mean, but listen up though.
It's
I
not
think
going to
Okay,
you
you
become.
missed my
say
point,
that
guys.
what? Okay, you said that the right way it don't mean that it's the right way. It's just like having the potter, well, the clay tell the potter what's right and what's wrong. Now, God already set the standard, so how can we say that His standard is not right? Just because
Because
people want to be demonic, it
Demonic.
doesn't mean it's right. What
Okay,
he
attack
said
well,
the
the
idea of
standard,
the
you
that's
person.
the standard that it's supposed to be. He
you don't
say
have an
one man with a woman, not a woman and woman, and not a man and man. And then it's just like how the gay community, and I don't have nothing against the gay community or whatever, because I
I
have
know, right?
friends and I have family members that are gay. But just because you don't know if you are a male and you want to be a female and you really are a male, don't get mad at us and because we want to keep it what God said, a woman and a man together, and not a woman and woman and a man and a man. Just because society has moved on to embracing that, don't mean that it's right.
you
So
can
just like with this polygamy thing, don't mean that it is right.
I'm gonna be very careful with how I say this. You can't prove that there's a God or a devil. You can't prove that. You can believe it, but you can't prove it. You don't have any logical. You can't prove that to an atheist. You can't prove that to anybody. There's no actual. I physically see. That's why dude is white, looking with the blue eyes and the whole nine. Because you can do what you want to do with that. You could also say we could also say that the man who basically helped enslave us. They even it was illegal to read, but it was okay to read the Bible, and it's all good to be into the great beyond. I came all up in the church, and I definitely studied the Christianity and Bible and Muslims and Torah and the whole nine. I mean, it's a
Okay,
belief,
so
and I respect.
so
But
if you
you
put a
speaking in absolute
fan,
again?
when you put a fan in front of you
Yes, ma'am.
and it's on, what's hitting you?
Molecules, atoms. You know
And we call it
you know what?
what?
Do you
And
know
we call it
when
what?
Air.
air?
And we call it air, right? We don't see it, but we sure believe it. So it's the same thing with God. And
No,
the
Okay,
no,
thing
it's
about it is
completely different.
we walk by
hold on.
faith and not by sight.
But
So
are we praying to
therefore,
the air?
Let her finish. Okay,
Okay,
so
let me finish. But
do you
okay.
know? Melissa, we know you got your. So when you know in the primitive days, do you know that when they thought the guys was angry when there was clouds bumping into each other when there was thunder because they didn't have the technology, there was no Doppler radar, so they didn't know what that was. So the more you know, the more you know. You don't know what you don't
well,
know,
see, in my Bible, it don't say that.
right?
It don't say nothing
Because
about the clouds is going. So then this God mad. It don't say that. See
it's
now,
but it's
the
written
things
by
that it
man,
do
right?
say in the Bible, I do believe, but those things like that, no, I don't. Because see, the thing about it is God left us the Bible, even though it was other people, it was different people that wrote it. God left us a map so we can get back home.
You know who King James was?
Oh, yeah, because he was gay. Yeah, I know
Okay,
that.
all right. I just make sure he didn't write it. He hired
It's
somebody
not
else to
saying
write it.
that. It's not saying that King James
All right.
inspired the book or nothing like that. It was just letting you know what time it was.
Can
It
we
was
keep
when
the
he was
Bible out of this
ruling.
discussion though?
No,
Because
no, she talked about the me. She called people demonic. So I was making sure
well, let's
that
keep the Bible out
Yeah,
of it because
it
we can
is.
only prove
she's speaking in
that,
absolute.
that
She's speaking in
No,
absolute.
baby. I'll never keep God out of it. You can keep God out of it, but I'll never keep God out of it.
I'm just trying to be
Thank you.
reasonable here. Just trying to
I'm being
look
No,
at the
reasonable.
future.
I'm being reasonable because see
Okay,
the
that's
thing
all
about
fair.
it is when you
I
take
didn't. I'm gonna
God
bow
out
out of
of
this
something,
discussion
that's
because
when
I
it
don't know what
start
to say.
falling apart. That's when it
All
start
right.
falling apart.
All right.
Yeah, okay, but things are not
I
perfect right
work for the
now.
school district, prime example. They took
If
God
everything
and
was
prayer out of
perfect
the
right now,
schools.
then I could
See
probably
how it
agree with
is.
that. But because I can't even finish a thought, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's you win. I'm done. Go ahead, you guys.
You ain't
I'll just
about
Oh,
listen.
winning.
well, that's too bad, Melissa.
Well, it's
Well,
not
I'm
about
sorry.
listening though, because I hadn't even finished my point yet though. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
even bother because I'll start talking and you'll
but
just
if
interrupt. So
you pull your car, if you pull your car and get yourself a little notepad, you can write down whatever you think, and then you can always come back with it. Because he's definitely letting us speak. But do you want to be sure? You want to try and gather your thoughts and finish what you were going to say?
I can try to finish. Okay, so yeah, the Queenmaker's idea about this polygyny was more in this society that's gonna work. We have to be separated from men because we're so different, and men have to basically be raised by men, and women can live communally, and then the men can on their own find a purpose, and then once they've gotten to the point of the higher self where they don't have to they're not just working and living on wanting sex all the time because that's something that men do want a lot of, right? So
Usually.
instead of them growing up just on their urges of sex, they can have another purpose. And once they find that purpose, then they can go out into the world and find their communal household of women who get to choose the best man or for their home. And if he acts up, then they get to throw him out. So it's more not it has nothing to do with not having any self-esteem. It has to do with we do need a man in the house.
That
And
sounds foolish. That sounds foolish.
okay,
Oh,
attack the idea, not the not the person. Okay.
I'm not attacking you.
So
I'm attacking the idea that you came up with. That's
no,
foolish.
it's not my idea. I'm telling you that
Well,
this is the
you
okay,
brought it
okay, okay,
here, so
okay.
I'm telling you
I'm gonna
that
stop. I'll
sounds
go ahead.
foolish.
I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
That sounds foolish. It really do.
Well, well,
We
let me.
gonna waste our time with all of us up in here, and then we gonna have one man, and we all gonna be sleeping with him. That
Well,
sounds foolish.
Do we
well,
need sex? Do we
well.
need?
Here,
Do we need? Do we need?
here,
Do we
here,
need to
here
like?
here's the thing. Here's the thing, people. We have to understand this, whether you want to agree or not. That whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, at this point in time, it really doesn't matter. Okay, because everybody has a right to choose what they believe in, how they walk, and how they talk. That's just a simple reality. When it comes to this polygamy thing, when you talk about Kevin Samuels, Doc said it himself. I didn't watch the video, so he sounds very trusting. So I'm inclined to believe um, his analogy of how Kevin Samuels structured what he said. Now, with this Queen Maker lady, um, if you notice, when she first came out, she was anti-man, totally, and she's gay. Okay, so that was to be expected. Now,
Demonic again.
okay, hold on, LaShonda. You can put any title you want on it, but now I'm looking at it like this because I've been watching this lady ever since she came out, even to this day. Now she's turned her whole narrative around. She's totally against women that try to exploit men for their own personal and selfish gains. So I pose this question: why did she change her narrative? And I concluded this: she changed it for financial reasons. She didn't do it because she actually believed that men have rights, that we should be treated like human beings, that we shouldn't be walked on, and we shouldn't be be unappreciated, and that we shouldn't have to sponsor women's wants and not their needs. And then they try to take the word provide and twist it to their betterment and to their benefit. Because here's the thing people got to understand, and I want people that's listening to this understand this. Whenever I talk with passion. Everything I've done in my life in 63 years, I deal with passion. So I'm not upset. I'm not mad about anything, right? But you have to know that when it comes to voicing your opinion, you cannot get mad when someone disagrees with the way you believe. That's just a simple reality. Because if we all thought and talked the same way, we would be robots. And that's what makes every individual unique within themselves, both man and woman. When you talk about this topic about polygamy, you know, I'm talking about Kevin Samuels had his points. The Queen Maker had her points. Melissa, you got your points. Doc got his points. LaShonda got hers. I got mine. And it doesn't make one more valuable than the other. It just means that you think a certain way and you're going to hold to it. It's just that simple. You know, so we can't get mad on the show and start lashing out at each other because of different opinions. You know, that's just life. But what I will say this, we have to respect the other person's opinion, not overtalk each other, and not be disrespectful.
I respect that.
Here.
And you and let me suggest something to you, if I may, Melissa. When you're talking and you're conveying or attempting to convey your thoughts about something that you're very passionate about, remember that everybody on this panel come from different walks of life. Only people now, Doc may know you, you may know him. I don't know Doc. I don't really know you. I've never met you, but I do know you. Me and Doc relate on a different level because we're men. And see, our whole the center of our existence is respect. So when it comes to us, we're going to respect each other whether we disagree or not. Now, I've been knowing LaShonda. She's been a personal friend of mine for almost 30 years. And if you go back and look at some of the things, me and LaShonda have had it out on some of these shows, but it's always been in with respect. So I'm saying that to say this. Please don't get caught up emotionally when someone is disagreeing with you. Just understand that this show is basically educational and for entertainment. You know, we're not on here to save the world. We're not on here to motivate the world to think like we think, Kevin Samuel or the Queen Maker. We're on here to talk about other people's opinions that in line or that's in tune with our opinions. That's it. Does that make sense?
For me? Yeah, I wasn't calling anybody demonic. But yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Doc, you can chime in here at any time.
That's
And to clear that up about the demonic thing, what I'm saying is that things that's out of the norm with God is demonic, regardless of how anybody think it is demonic.
And that's your opinion. You're entitled to that. You know, I'm talking about right, wrong, or indifference. You're entitled to that. Now, do I totally agree with that? Probably not. But I'm not going to fight you over it because that's your belief system. You know, and just like Melissa has her belief system, it's not to say that it's wrong. You just don't agree with it. So
that's a fine line though, because you basically calling somebody. She already said somebody would be, what's the word? The word would be low self-esteem, and so there's opinion and then there's a name calling of it. Right. So it's like it's a combo, like it's touchy. So it might even sound like when I started talking about the atheist, I just said you can't prove it. All I said is you can't prove. I didn't say I was an atheist. I didn't say you dumb to believe in God or to believe in spirituality. I didn't say any of that. I just said it's just hard to speak in the absolute. It's hard to speak in the absolute and have the whole world get behind it or get people to get behind it because
But see, I don't have to say anything to get people behind it or whatever. If you don't want to be behind God, that's on you. It's your choice.
your your version of God, the version you're following, because there's other people that have other versions of God. It's more Muslims than Christians are, and they pray 5 times a day, and they believe in Allah and the whole nine. They don't drink no pork, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has their own thing. So yeah, I hear you. You kind of saying live and let live, but you also saying if you live this way, this is who you are, and that's speaking in the absolute. But I don't know. So I think what he's saying is nice and it sounds good, but the way it came off is like you pointing up. You're not describing in general. You're describing a person. Like you saying this is
Okay,
exactly who you
okay.
are.
Let's go back to Sodom and Gomorrah. The reason why they was destroyed was because they was lovers of themselves, meaning they was loving the same sex. And so God destroyed them because of that. So therefore, I'm not saying the person is demonic, but the spirit that is dwelling in them is demonic.
Okay,
Right.
can I interject really quick?
Go ahead.
Do you think that he would have destroyed the town if they had taken Lot's wife, or not Lot's wife, Lot's daughters who were virgins instead of the angels that came to visit? Because I
I'm not
remember
gonna say that because I don't know what God's what his plan was.
because
But
Lot offered
from what
his own daughters to the
yeah,
crowd
I
that
know
were.
he offered his daughters
I
or
mean, if that's not
whatever,
demonic,
but
I don't know what is.
what because he offered his
His
daughters, that was
virgin, yeah,
demonic.
his virgin daughters,
The
yeah,
reason why he offered
because
the
he's
daughters
rapist.
is because it would have
He's
been
raped.
men and women, not women and women and men and men. But we can't say what God's thoughts was, what his plan was, but we can only go off of what he showed us. And what he showed us was that they was lovers of themselves, and that's why he destroyed them. And that's why I say if somebody is gay, it's the spirit that's within them that's demonic. I'm not saying they are demonic. It's the spirit that's within them because God don't want us to be men and men and women and women. It's the devil that want us to be like that because there will not be no procreation. That's the
Well,
reason why he
in
want
that
us to
same
be
story,
like
though,
that.
in that same story, Lot slept with his daughters. Isn't that right? Like, or the daughters got her dad their dad drunk so that they can sleep with him. Is
Yeah, that
that
was
considered?
wrong. That was wrong.
Okay.
So
Um.
let me pose a question to the panel, if I may. So earlier, Miss Melissa alluded to the theory that where society as a whole is moving towards polygamy.
Should.
Do you agree with that? And why?
Okay, this is what I don't understand. You say it should move there, but you say you don't believe in that, and that's not
Well,
what you
I've
about.
been conditioned. I've been
So why would
conditioned
you say should?
because okay, listen. In other countries, like there's women, old ladies that are committing crime so that they can have a place to sleep in jail and food to eat. And like Kevin Samuel said, there's going to be a crisis of older women that are homeless because they didn't get married and they didn't have anyone like take like to care for them in a way, kind of sort of. But so what I'm saying is that in the future we need to start conditioning our children to not be like as rigid as I am on this subject, because we may have to start
Let me
thinking.
take it. Hold
Thank
on.
you.
Well,
Is
I
Mr.
can
Wood?
say that
Hey, Ramon.
there's
Oh,
something coming upon this world that we all gonna have to live with each other, but we don't have to all sleep with each other.
it's
So
Ramon.
that theory, I don't think so.
Can you hear us, Ramon? He ain't. Okay, I'll wait till you get back. Yep.
He's
He
Gotcha.
there.
said 1 minute.
Oh, he's saying 1 minute. He's saying one. Oh, he said okay. All right.
You can
But
go ahead.
I'll just repeat it. So when he said something before, he said, "You don't I'm not going to speak on something unless I believe in it. So I'm going to, Melissa and I are both going to contradict that, or we're going to have a different of opinion on that. And by that, I'm going to tell you how so she cannot participate in it and say that, hey, my feelings are that of, I need one man or one woman in my life. I'm going to go woman. And that's going to be it. And I don't, but until I mess with another man or woman, I'm going to break up with them first and still go, you know what though? Um, Contextually and for the betterment of society, the way you guys are acting, um, this is what you guys need to do. Okay, we know that you call it demonic and we know you call it bad, and neither one, nobody else, no, none of you three are with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it as a possibility. I believe in possibilities. I believe in conversation. But here's where I'm gonna piggyback off of that conversation with something else. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I really don't even like it. I don't like the taste of alcohol, and I don't like the smell of smoke. I don't do no drugs. I don't do none of that. But I absolutely think you should be able to. And as long as you can control yourself and you're not drunk and you ain't out here killing people and little kids and you know what I'm saying, like, you, as long as you ain't running over people and running people off ditches and having, I'm in the city, I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are an hour away from Chicago. The name of our team is the Brewers. That's how much we drink. We the Brewers, like brewing beer. We drink our asses off. We got one of the most bars per capita. We got like the highest bars per capita in the United States. We used to. Like every single block, you gonna see a bar somewhere. And I say all that to say this though. I believe in you being able to do that if you're responsible, but I don't do it myself. So I think that's you. You know, Mr. Williams, he can say, well, that's a difference in opinion we have. But I'm saying I would hope he might be able to adapt that opinion only because it makes us more tolerant and tolerable of things, and we can get to learn people and see what they're saying. Because I would submit to Miss Woods that not only do you know some gay people, I know plenty of gay people. So I would say that some of them, and this goes from childhood, they have a different set of chromosomes. They are different. Some of them are born that way. Some of them are just going on, latching on. Some have been turned. Some of them have been groomed into it. But I'm saying there's a lot of them who are just feminine, and there's a lot of women who are masculine, and or they just do not find women attractive. Am I saying that that's just because they do that they should be able to act on that? I'm not necessarily saying that, but just to make it one certain way and put a blanket over the whole thing, I think we're not doing. I think we're not doing right by them. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're doing right by them. And I also think this, because, and I study Leviticus and I study Romans on how evil they say being a gay is. I think because of that, you would never sign on. I'm guessing. I don't know this. You would never sign on to gay marriage or gay rights and things of that nature because you think it's evil and demonic, the act itself. And because of that, though, in our society, people who ostracize their family won't let them come to dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, kids and ostracize them. But then when they on that deathbed, the partner that's been with them 20, 30 years can't even make a decision unless they got some paperwork right. So I think that, again, we talking about being practical and fair, even though I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't have anything to do personally with gay people, nor am I gay. Thank you for letting me go on that rant, by the way.
See, the thing about it is, it's not for us to, okay, so like, I deal with people that's gay and everything. I love them the same way I would love you. The thing about it is, I'm not gonna sit there and condone the stuff. No, I'm not gonna do that. You're not gonna have me calling you he when you really a she. No, I'm not gonna do that. Now, we can't sit there and like, okay, if you choose to be gay, that's you, because you the one got to talk for God now and say, like, if you had to speak for me, because of your lifestyle and here to speak for me, then we have a problem. But since it's your lifestyle, that's what you choose to do. But don't sit there and make me condone it. Don't make me make you comfortable because you don't know if you're a girl or a boy. No, God already told you what you was, and that's what it is. And but you can do what you want to do, but don't try to make me go in that confused state.
What if they don't believe it's a God?
That's on them. I believe it, and I know it's a God.
Okay, so now I don't know. This is what I heard. Now, Mr. Williams, you tell me if I'm out of order when I say this. Were you involved with the Crips? Were you involved with the Crips? I'm going to make a point. Were you involved with the Crips, sir, or one of the gangs?
Yes.
Okay, so around here where I'm from, we're close to Gangster Disciples. So when you hear a Big Meeks, Larry Hoover, so we're around the GDs and Vice Lords. We're around GDs and Vice Lords. So my point to you is, and you're not gonna like this point I'm gonna make. But here's what I would be doing if I wanted to speak against Crips and Bloods, and I took the 6-point star, and I basically went off the Gangster Disciples. Both our rule, they got a rule book. First of all, I'm not a gang member, but if I was, you got to know about it because I'm in the streets and I see everybody and you see what's happening with it, and you better know how you rocking your hat and your colors and the whole nine. So if I use their set of lit, they call it sit. You have spent me some lit, which is short for literature. If you don't know the literature, but you throwing up the gang sign and you doing handshakes, you might get your ass whooped. Now here's my point I'm gonna make. If I use that book to justify getting at Mr. Williams or anybody, I'm basically, if I use the literature that I'm being taught by the gangster side, GDs or BDs or whatever, you are basically doing that with the Bible. You basically, you have to be able to, you don't have to do anything, but logically speaking, you can't use that to justify everything else.
Okay. You can't justify. Okay, listen, but you can't justify it with the book that you're talking about because that's not the real book. The real book is the Bible because whether you want to be a part of it or not, or believe in God or not, it is what it is. And their Bible, their book or whatever, it doesn't mean anything, just like nothing else means anything.
Gotcha.
It's for this lifetime.
You're there for the translation of the Bible. You was there for all the whole nine, the Hebrew, the scrolls, the whole nine. You saw.
I wasn't there, but God was there and put everything into motion.
Okay.
And see, the thing about it is, people that don't got God, that's crazy because you put insurance on your car, but you can't put some insurance on your behind. And so when it come down to the thing and it all blow up, hey, it was your choice.
Now, I understand it. I actually understand it.
I'm gonna say this again.
We done made a church podcast.
Let me reiterate this, that me personally, at my age and my experience in life, I don't go around knocking what anybody do because I personally don't care. If it don't affect me, you can believe in Jehovah, you can believe in Yahweh, you can believe in Elijah Muhammad, you can believe in Jesus, God, whatever you want to believe in, it's fine with me. You can be straight, gay, poly, monogamous, it's okay with me. I'm doing me. I'm letting everybody do them. As long as it don't affect me, my household, or my family, I don't care. I really don't. I don't go through life trying to change the world based on my belief system because that's not how life is. It's never been that way, nor will it ever be. There's a lot of people that's walking this earth today that's far greater than us. There's people that's no longer in this world that's far greater than us, and they couldn't get the world to follow them. So what makes us believe that just because we subscribe to something wholeheartedly, whether it's the Bible, whether it's to for polygamy, monogamy, homosexuality, it doesn't matter. Everybody's not going to be on board with that. So with that being said, I suggest this to each and every one of you. However you choose to walk in life, may you have blessings and peace be upon you. That's all I can say, because I'm not knocking out Melissa thing, and this is what I was trying to convey to her, Doc, when you chimed in and assisted me. You know, you can admire a person, but that don't mean you have to follow that person. And that's not being contradictory, because I admire TD Jakes, but I'm not going to Texas to give TD Jakes any of my money.
The Potter's house. You gonna join the Potter's house?
No, I ain't joining the Potter's house. So, you know, I'm talking about.
You want to get swallowed? You want to get swallowed? All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh,
and I ain't trying to be a part of no white party either. Whatever that junk was, they was involved in. But
12 midnight.
I'm a Titty Jakes fan, by the way. I'm a Titty Jakes fan.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about anybody that can advocate or articulate intelligence, I'm a fan of. But it don't mean that everything that comes out their mouth, I'm a follow or believe. It doesn't mean it's just like when you go to school, they tell you that 75% of the things that you learn in school, you will never apply in life. True fact. I got several college degrees. So with that being said, I take what I've heard from this show tonight. I'm taking bits and pieces, and you know, I'm sponging it up. But that don't mean I'm just jumping on polygamy bandwagon. Right. It doesn't mean that I'm jumping on the queen makers. You know, I respected and admired Kevin Samuels. He played his part in life, and you know, his time has come and gone. So now it's up to us to either push his message or to continue a narrative that's similar to his message that will embrace his message. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I'm about. I'm gonna embrace. I'm gonna keep pushing things that's in line with his narrative, but his narrative was his narrative. It's not mine. So,
got it.
So we've come to that point, ladies and gentlemen. We've been here over an hour, and you know, the reason I stepped off the camera a couple of times because you know I have a 2-year-old here. So, what we can do, because she won't be quiet, we can conclude this, and I would like to say this with all due respect. Thank you, Doc, for being a guest. You know, you're a very honorable man. You're very knowledgeable. I love your perspectives, your insight, and your world of wisdom, you know, that you brought to the show tonight. And thank you for that. Melissa, you know, as always, it's a pleasure. I know a lot of times we don't agree on
things. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. But you are a wealth of knowledge. You have a lot of resources at your disposal, and I welcome that, as I've always said from the time I met you. And you know, it goes without saying, LaShonda, with you, you know, you my girl, I love you. You know, we done bumped heads a lot of times over the years, but we've always loved and respect each other. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You know, voicing your opinions, accepting another person's opinions, and just keep moving on, because, you know, realistically, LaShonda can't change you, Doc. Doc, you can't change me. I can't change Melissa, because we all have different thought processes. We may think certain things similar, parallel to each other, but realistically, we're all different individuals.
Right.
So with that being said, you know, I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. No one made comments, but I see a lot of people coming in. The numbers went up and down. So that lets me know that, again, Melissa, you picked a good topic. Thank you for it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to come up with some more good things. And Doc, you're always welcome to the show, man. You know, and I extend my heart to you, man. Because that's what we need. We need more brothers, older brothers, particularly seasoned brothers. Let me take the older away.
I'll take it. I own it. I say I'm the oldest, but I'm the coldest.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's cool.
We do the show. I did the show tonight because Melissa requested it because she wanted you to be on. We do the show on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I won't be able to do a show tomorrow because I have to work. Okay. But if you're available, we can do a show on Thursday, get a hot topic, and let's let it do what it do.
Word. Let me see what's happening. Let me check the schedule. I'm trying to get LaShonda to join my polyamorism. I'm just kidding.
Well,
baby, you number one, baby. You gonna be number one.
And then I'm gonna get you to join God's church.
Your church group.
Study group.
I'm gonna think about it.
Let's do this. Melissa, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
It's truly been a blessing.
Respect,
Doc, do you have any closing thoughts?
My thing is always balance, and my one of my goals in life is just to get people to be not necessarily tolerant of everything, because I'll say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But to at least try and learn more about your fellow man and woman, and have balance.
Okay, LaShonda, any closing thoughts?
I just want to say I love the show tonight. It had a lot of different balances, and we're a little off balance on some things, but it was really good of different perspectives. So my thing is, Jesus is coming soon, so get it right.
Okay, with that being said,
Revelations.
I
and
like
Daniel.
I'd like to thank each and every guest that watched the show, that didn't make any comments. Thank you for your support, your time. Thank each and every one of you for being a guest on the show tonight. May you leave with peace and blessings, and be safe out there. Much love and respect to each and every one of you. So with that being said, we're going to close out. And if you just hold on, Doc and Melissa, and let me close this out, please.
Yes, sir.